What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch Boxing. I'm your host, Reckless Rex Ruger. That's the fucking Alexis Arguello motherfucking puppet.
And I'm your other host, motherfucking Frank Benjis, and we're back with another one.
And we got a good one tonight, man. And I am fucking excited because I love this dude. I'm going on record right now as saying I love this dude. Because I really do. Except I don't know if I let him in here or not. There we go. Do we got you, my man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, man, it's so good to have you on here, man. I'm excited about having you on, man. We've been having such great guests on, man, but you are one of the ones I've been really excited about. First of all, man, let me just say, man, Albert Prince Bell, strong beard game, man. Strong beard game.
I appreciate that.
Hey, listen, I've always wanted to know this because I'm not a boxer myself, man, and this may sound like a dumb question, man, but does that really soften the blow, man, when you're getting punches, man, or is a punch just as hard when you do have a nice, thick, full beard like that?
I think it's all the same.
All the same.
If you get cracked clean, you gonna feel it, beard or no beard.
Fair enough. Okay, first of all, I appreciate you doing this, man. A real pleasure, seriously, having you on here, man. If we could just chop it up a little bit about your history, man. How did you get into boxing?
I come from a family of boxers. I'm the youngest of my siblings. My father is still my coach to this day. He was a fighter. My older brother boxed, my uncle. So I just came up in the gym with them getting started off with just me getting babysitted, watched up at the gym. So I just gravitated to it and never looked back.
Were you getting in a lot of fights in school?
No. I was always pretty chill. I don't know. I'm easy to get along with.
It seems like that's a lot of guys' stories, though, man. Like, we laugh about it on here a lot, man, but it's always either like a father pushing guys into boxing or it's guys getting into a lot of scraps in grade school.
Yeah, or guys getting bullied or something like that.
Yeah.
But my father really never pushed me into it. I just I don't know, I just gravitated to it myself. He never was on me hard or made me do it. I was training when I was 3 or 4, and I just stopped for years. And you can't box amateur in the States until you 8. So when I got 7, I got serious and started training, got ready for when I could actually fight, and it's history from there.
And did you have boxing? Oh, go ahead, Benji.
When you were coming up, you said you were in the gym at a young age, around the sport and stuff. Did you have idols in the game coming up, like guys that you like to watch?
Yeah, of course. I used to even in the amateurs, I had favorite amateur stuff before I was even an amateur boxer. Guys getting ready to go to the Olympics and all type of stuff like that. But I was always a real huge fan back then of Roy Jones. That was my guy coming up.
Yeah.
Of course, Mike Tyson. Just all the greats. We I come from a boxing family, so we ordered all the fights every Saturday or whenever pay-per-view came on. So I was able to watch all the fights, and I used to watch ESPN Classics a lot. So I was getting hip to guys from way back in the day and all type of stuff. So yeah, I got.
So you remember when you watched those? So you remember when you bought those Mike Tyson fights, man? You couldn't even blink or get up to go take a piss. You'd come back and it'd be over.
Yeah, and then they had you stand up to 3 a.m. before they even actually fought. They used to.
Yeah, that's true too.
They used to have after the co-main event fight would go off, it would be another hour before a Mike fight, and then it just be. I don't know. That stuff was crazy.
Now I realize, man, that when you look around the sport, all these guys, in a sense, are your competition, even though they are your peers. But when you look around the sport, as a fan, whose work do you admire? Who's currently doing it?
I admire a lot of guys. I still watch all the fights. I'm not missing no fights. I travel to a lot of fights and I order a lot of fights. So I got an eye on everybody. But I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan, but I respect. I like Terrence Crawford. I like Bivol. I like Usyk. I like Fury. Tank for sure.
Yeah.
I love Lomachenko's style. I like NOA. I like everybody for real. I don't like everybody but if you're a top guy, I'm watching your fights. You know what I mean? So
my guy Lomachenko been getting a lot of love on the show lately.
Loma's that guy. I did a whole camp with Lomachenko to prepare him. I was his chief sparring partner for the fight when he fought. Was it Nakatani fight? Yeah. So I did a whole camp with him. Good dude, man. I learned a lot.
And now, what do you think?
Real good work.
Now, what do you think of a potential November showdown, man? Is he past his prime, or can he still pull out a few bags out of his trick if he does lock horns with Tank?
I think it'd be good, but I would have rather preferred to see it happen a while ago. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
you and
before
everybody
he got up
else.
in age, yeah, I'd rather see the prime Loma. But it's like when Loma lose, he comes back refocused, and then he comes like meaner. So I think he's like the Cambosis fight for one. You know what I mean? Like he went in there and he was the Loma of old. He was more aggressive. You know, never let his foot off the gas like how he did with Devin in the 12th round, or
Yeah,
took time off, like or even when he fought Tio, he misjudged the fight, took too many rounds off early, came on late. Tio bit down 12th round, won him the fight. After that, he was destroying guys. But I don't know. It's like whenever you think he's done, he comes back out and he has a great performance. So
yeah.
it's still to be entertaining. You know, I don't know if he got enough to keep Tank off of him for 12 rounds, but he got so many angles and tricks and crafty, and he does a lot of mental pressure things. So we'll see. I definitely be interested in watching. That's a
You know,
big fight.
I gotta say, it's so funny that you say that, man, because we watched the Lomachenko and Tiafimo fight, and we kept thinking, you know, because the announcers always say, you know, oh, Lomachenko's like he's downloading information, and we kept thinking, okay, one of these rounds he's gonna start stepping on the gas, and every
Right.
single round we kept on thinking, like, okay, this is the round
Yeah.
Loma's gonna.
No,
I mean,
no.
he really beat himself in that fight.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. Like
oh,
it was like I don't know if it was like a miscalculation thing, but or he was scared of his power early because
Yeah,
guys be super like Theo is an explosive puncher,
yeah,
so you can't you got to be real careful with them type of guys early in the fight because they have their full strength. You know what I mean?
yeah, no
So
doubt.
I think he waited too long to start applying his game plan, and he's like he ran out of time because once he started going, he run like a series of the whole back end of the fight. Then Theo bit down hard and won the 12th, and I think that's what won him the fight. If he
Yeah,
would have won that 12th round, it could have been possibly been a draw. You know
yeah.
what I
no,
mean?
no,
But
no, Albert. We like he said, we watched the fight together, man. And my pops, I'll never forget it, man. He said in round 12, "This is the round. He's gonna knock him out."
oh no. But it was like, but before those rounds, like the 10th and 11th, he had did like some great work against Tio. Like he was
Yeah.
he was like, okay, he's almost like, you know what I mean? But I think he started too late. Like it just that's why I think it was a miscalculation type thing. I don't know. And Tio did great things, like just where his foot placement, you know what I mean, and controlling and loading up power shots when he was jump in. So credit to Tio. That was a great performance by him, especially only
Now,
at 15.
do you feel like now? Go ahead, Benji.
That's just a running joke between us now.
I know
Oh
it is
yeah,
too.
okay.
And now, do you feel like now? I'm very happy to see when I was collecting my notes and stuff to talk to you about. You're 26-0, man. You know, I was looking at the rankings today. You're ranked by almost all the major alphabet groups. I don't know what the hell the WBA's problem is. You know, apparently they're anti Prince Bell, but I mean, you know, you're ranked in the top 10 Ring magazine, #1 by the WBO, and I gotta
Right.
say that the guy with the belt there right now. Well, there's two guys. There's interim champ Valdez, and then you know, Navarrete's got the got the main belt. Now, do you like either one of those fights?
I love them. I've been trying to fight those guys for long. I've been #1 in the WBO for over a year now.
Yeah.
And it just keeps it keeps eluding me for some reason why I can't get my shot. I don't know why. Like we trying to get everything figured out now because the plan was, well, in the perfect world, Navarrete, once they grant, I was supposed to fight Navarrete, then they granted him super champion, which means he ain't have to fight a mandatory for a whole year.
Yep.
So he could go up to fight for the championship at 35. He was supposed to go there, vacate it. I mean, so if he'd have won, he would have vacated at 30.
Right.
Valdez, they would have upgraded Valdez to full champ, and we would have fought.
Yeah.
But he lost. He comes. So now they say he come back down. He's going to fight Valdez again, I guess. I'm not sure, but I was supposed to see Valdez was ranked behind me. Valdez was ranked #3.
Right.
I was #1. We had a network. We had backing. We had everything lined up. Me and Archie Sharp, both undefeated. We was gonna fight each other. I was 1, he was 4.
Yep.
They ended up letting 2 and 3 fight for the interim and said they denied us access to fight for it and then granted them the fight for the interim. So it was just it didn't make no sense. I don't know, but I'm
It's
just
more
be
the
trying to stay patient.
politics. It's always the
Yes, it's
politics.
all the politics. So we about to we got some big things coming up, big conversations to sit down and have with these with one of the top promoters this weekend. So to get back just in the things where they just can't get stuff like that keep happening. So I'm just trying to stay patient. You know what I mean, but I definitely love fights with any of the guys
Sure.
in the top 5, top 10, whatever. But I prefer the champions. But if in the meantime, I'll take any guys in the top 5 for sure.
As a matter of fact, in the words of the great Reggie Sweet Johnson, it's the politics.
Yeah, for
Politics.
sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
politics.
For
As a
sure.
matter of fact, we just had another guy in your division on a couple nights ago who's undefeated and isn't even ranked. And that always makes me scratch my head because I'll see guys in those rankings with 2 or 3 losses. Like we had Malik Montgomery on the other night.
That's my guy.
Who's also
That's
a
my
super featherweight, 17-0, 16 knockouts.
He-
Shout out to him. He's got a big fight coming up this Friday night.
I didn't know he came up to super featherweight.
Yeah, he's fighting
okay,
this.
he's at 30. Okay.
Yeah, he's coming up this Friday night. He's got a fight, man. And we came on and we promoted it the other night, man.
Yeah,
But
on the overtime card.
Yeah,
That's
it
my
just
guy.
seems like one of those things. It leaves you scratching your head. And we asked him on the show too, and he kind of didn't have a great
But,
answer. Just chalking up the politics.
I would say, but he hasn't been active. So that probably could be the only reason. He get a good nice win. They probably put him in there somewhere in the top 15, or he's got to stay active. You know what I mean? Sometimes guys' careers with management situations and promoters and stuff where they have to take time off to figure this out and come back, have a fight here, then don't fight again for this time. So they, you know what I mean? So I could say that's probably the reason why Malik's not ranked. But 2 fights consistently this year, he should be in the rankings for sure.
Is it as simple as it takes money to make money?
Sometimes it's just a big risk to reward some type of situations as well. You know what I mean? If they know, like you said, guys with losses in the rankings that might not be as much a danger, that's with another top promoter. That makes sense. Why fight an undefeated guy that's not have a huge name? You know what I mean? That you probably know you can't beat.
Now you're kind of an anomaly at super featherweight, though. A 73-inch reach, and you're 6 foot tall.
Yeah, for sure.
That's huge. I mean, that's huge for that division.
Yeah, like I got my growth spurt in high school. I know I was short for sure. I was short like all the way to like my junior year. Yeah, I just shot up out of nowhere.
And were you pretty athletic in terms of like, did you do other sports?
No, I played a lot of basketball, but I don't play for like other teams. I just boxed my entire life.
Yeah.
He's not nice. He sounds similar to me. Obviously that's my dad. I stayed small for a while and then I shot up to 6'4" all of a sudden.
Yeah, like I don't know what happened, but I'm thankful for it.
Now let me ask you this, man. Do you have a fight scheduled, or do you know like how for the rest of this year, how much busier or how many fights would you like to get in before 2024 is over?
I'll probably get one more in because, like I said, we got some big situations coming up.
Okay,
I can't really just touch on just yet until they.
That's all right. Fair enough.
So, but we supposed to have something big coming up. So, so that probably be it because that's like in the mid of the year. Then we gear up for 25.
So to kind of switch gears a little bit, something we always like to ask on this show is just because it's polarizing right now in the sport. Like when you see these MMA guys or like Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson, like what do you like that for the sport? Like what do you think that does for the sport?
I think it's good for the sport. So in certain cases, not all of it is good, but in certain cases, it brings a lot of new eyes to the sport. And then guys like Jake Paul is actually doing a lot for the sport, not only just by bringing eyes to it. He's taking care of a lot of fighters that wasn't making the same pay they was, put them in different platforms and turn them into stars. So, and I know he takes it real serious. Like I know a lot of guys in his training staff that's from the Detroit Crunk area and all that type of stuff that's out there. And I know he's training like a real fighter. So if he was just half-assing it or really just was doing like some just as a sideshow attraction, then my respect probably be a different outlook on it. But I know he really putting in the work. He's doing real training camps, and I know he's getting a lot of guys paid. Like when his first show he did in Cleveland, he gave every fighter on the card a bonus.
Yeah,
crazy money.
Not to knock him at all, but just in the same vein, I'm curious. Like I know you've probably seen a fight of his or whatever, or seen highlights of him fighting. Do you really think that he's got what it takes to continue in the sport, even though you're saying he's training
I don't know if he'd be a top contender or world champion. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean, I think he could compete with the guys they're putting him in there with. You know what I mean? I think they're going to move him correctly. You know, he took a loss to Fury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't keep losing in this sport. I don't care who you is. You know what I mean? People will stop wanting to see you. You know what I mean? But I think they'll move him correctly and manage his career the right way. I don't think they're going to put him in there with no top dog killer type guys.
Right.
Type soon. So, you know what I mean? So I think he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Now, as I mentioned, you know, as I alluded to a couple minutes ago about your size, like what is the game plan as far as like possibly going to other weight classes? Is that plan you see in your future?
Yeah, I probably end my career at 40 or somewhere up in there. Yeah, I mean, but I'm just trying to take care of what I need to first here at 30. You know what I mean? Get one of these shots, get a belt, and then that because at 35, all the fights are big money fights.
Huge.
That's the back thing. That's another thing. Comes back to big risk, little reward. If I go up there now, I drop back in the rankings. Got to have a couple more fights to get back up in the rankings. Then go to the politics again. But it's ways to do things. You know what I mean? You win the titles, you vacate them, and you become number one in the next weight class, and you go from there. It's like a shortcut to in the next weight class. So we got to just keep our eyes on 130 right now, though, and try to, you know what I mean, make as much noise here as possible and get some of these straps around my waist.
Now, it sounds like Kelvin Ford, you know, from what he has said, you know, it kind of sounds like the plan with Tank Davis is to kind of take that old school mentality that you used to see guys do years ago, where they just kind of decide, like, this is my weight, I'm staying here, and I'm always going to keep cleaning this weight division out. You know what I mean? Like, 135 just seems to be Tank's home. He's only 5'5", you know what I mean?
Right.
You know, how high is he really going to go or whatever? You know, so if you were to arrive at 135, you know, do you like your chances with a fight like Tank, and how do you fight a guy like Tank?
I like my chances with anybody that we got two hands like me.
That's the right answer, right, Albert?
But you gotta stay smart. Just stay smart, stay alert. You know what I mean? Box. You know what I mean? Don't fall asleep in there. That's what a lot of guys do. They let their foot off the gas. You know what I mean? Or they show too much too early. You know what I mean? For example, with his last fight, guy started off good, but you got to know who you in there with, what their analytics are. If this guy doesn't start fighting until the 6th round, just, you know what I mean, just filling you out and making you spend your energy until he lets it find what he needs for his shot, you don't go in there spinning it all. So
did you feel like?
I'm curious because we're talking about Tank. Just while we're on the subject of it, a big fight that plays in my mind constantly based on size, and you brought him up when we were talking about current guys, Inoue and Tank, man. How do you see that kind of fight playing out?
I don't think that's going to happen. I mean,
no,
you got
too small, right?
That guy's come from, unless he's a real Manny Pacquiao, the second coming of Manny Pacquiao, where he's going to go from 112 to 150. I mean, like, I just really don't see him going past like 130 time soon. Yeah, I mean, he's still got work to do at 122. Then it's hella fights available for him at 126 that they can be made, and that's going to be a couple years. And then you got 30. Then they go to, and Tank said he doesn't see it either. So, and like Tank said, he got 5-6 more fights, and then he said he's done. You know, I mean, you never know how that goes, but in the ideal world, that's what he's saying. So I don't think he's going to be one of those 7-6 fights that's on that deal that he's talking about. But on a video game, it'd be it'd be
game fight at this point. Yeah. Now, is that a fight? And then now, if you guys happen to end up in the same division, is that a fight that you like against a guy like Inoue?
Yeah, I like with anybody, as long as it makes sense and it makes money.
Do you feel like, and now do you feel like, you know, you're one of those guys that's really put in a lot of work into your craft? 26-0. And, you know, we kind of touched on this with Malik the other night, man. You know, we were kind of giving him like just a list of names of guys that are super featherweight. He spoke very glowingly about you. And you know, I'm wondering at 26-0, you know, do you feel like you're not getting the respect that you deserve? As a fan of yours, I feel that way.
I think in the outside looking in like that, but I feel like from the boxers I get my respect, and from my competition I get that respect. I got turned down by, I don't really do the clout chasing or names, but I done
I know
got
you
turned
don't.
down by every guy you can imagine behind closed doors when it comes to putting our names on these table.
Yep.
And I say yes to every single one. And the top, all the guys, their favorites, talk about they boogeymans or this and that. They all, no, I
Right.
don't. Either they or they handlers, they managers or whatever. I'm the yes man every time. Yep.
And I think
Matter of fact, Al, this is the perfect podcast for you to be on because that we're in the same boat, man. We keep getting the but I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So from the boxers, I feel like I get my respect. You know what I mean? Whether it's voiced or not. I've been in the ring with most of the top guys out there, champions, contenders, all that, and you know what I mean. So they know me. You know what I mean. So
And I think that speaks volumes. I think that speaks volumes as to how skilled of a boxer you are. Because out of your 26 wins, you know, you're not necessarily, even though you did win your last fight by a knockout, you wouldn't really consider yourself, judging by your record, a knockout artist.
Right. And see, that's the thing. And most guys, to be honest, if you ask them, most guys that get knocked out before they get embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like most guys will say I was doing my thing, I just got caught, instead of a guy making you feel like you never, like you not even know what you're doing in there. You know what I mean? So that's a belittling thing, because it's no, like a guy that got knocked out, they could say, oh, he was doing his thing, but he got caught. We'd see that again. We'd pay to see that again.
Right.
If this guy dominates you for 12 rounds and he just
that's a lot worse. Yeah, that's a lot worse when a guy spends 12 rounds just handing you your ass round after round after round. That's
sure.
I get what you're saying. I'd rather be
it's nothing. It's like it's nothing. Like this guy just showed you it's nothing you could do with him, and you know what I mean. But instead of guys like to go in there and bang it out and just, I went on my shit, I got caught.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But I was doing good before that. But you just, you know what I mean.
But I'm glad you brought that up, though, because we've asked this question before on there, and you will see this being a very polarizing topic. You know, I'm wondering what you consider or what the difference is when we see somebody get, who is a boxer, a real technician, you know, very much like yourself, or like, let's see, like a Shakur Stevenson. When he fights a fight, and some of those fights will get called a master class, but then sometimes you'll say, this guy was running all night. This guy was running all night. How do we decipher as a boxing fan when someone gives us a master class or when somebody is accused of running all night? You know what I mean? Because a lot of times you'll see these people say, oh, he ran all night, but then you'll see the real boxing pundits say that was a master class. And I do realize boxing is the art of hitting and not getting hit or whatever, but it seems like such a fine line between being labeled a real tactician and a runner.
I feel like you gotta. I feel like it's on a fighter to know the difference of the line. You know what I mean? A guy like a Shakur or whoever that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying his name because you brought it up. He knows when he got it. That's like what he's saying now. He's going to step it up. I'm going to show y'all how great I am, whatever. He knows what he's capable of, and he feel like he could have done more in that situation or whatever. Whether he gets injured or not, he know, because afterwards he, even in the ring interview, he was saying, "Oh, it wasn't my best performance." So he knows he's going to be open to criticism. But I feel like as a fighter, you got to know what you're doing. You know when you just doing enough to get by, or when you, or I'm touching him up, or I'm turning him, I'm showing out, I'm doing my thing. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's on the fighter, and I feel like the fans that know, you know what I mean, like unless they just. You like a guy that they love to hate, like a Floyd Mayweather or something. We know Floyd. We know Floyd Mayweather's putting on master classes. He's not just running, but guys that want to see him lose so bad, all he does is run. He doesn't stand there fight. You know what I mean? So, I feel like it's on the fighter and on like the real, not just casual fans.
From a boxing fan standpoint, in my mind, the way I think about it is like, you know, when a guy's moving a guy and he's turning him and he's doing what he's supposed to do. My thing is from a fan standpoint, it's like when you do set your feet and do something, I want to see you winning those exchanges and then move and turn again.
Yeah, like I said, you know, it's on the fighter because you know when you make them miss, you make them pay. You know what I mean? So if I'm touching and turning you and I just back off, but I could have touched you, pop, 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 and lit you up and turned off again and kept running my numbers on you, whatever the case may be. You know when you I missed that gap where I could have did this, I could have did that. That's when you go back on your performance and you feel bad, like, damn,
Yeah.
I dropped the ball on that one. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I feel like it's on the fighter because we know.
Now, if you're not struggling to make weight and let's say you don't have a fight coming up, man, or you just get done with a fight, man, immediately afterwards, man, what's the go-to food?
After a fight,
Yeah.
probably some hot wings.
Oh, there we go.
Probably some hot wings or something like that. But I don't know. I just like to just enjoy back to eating just regular food that I just, you know what I mean, that you ain't got to think about it. So it'll all be good after making weight and back to your regular life.
Are you one of those guys that walks around pretty close to your fighting weight, though?
I don't get too high. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's always keeping a manageable, you know what I mean, situation where I could, because it doesn't take me long to cut my weight. Like once I go in camp and get on my my meals and doing my weight just drops. So it's not really never really no struggle.
So if Prince Bell has got to fight the round of his life and he's got to do his thing, what's the music in Prince Bell's ear that he wants to hear?
Man, that's a tough one. So like, just I listen to like certain artists though. You know what I mean? I'm big on like Louisiana artists. Like I like Kevin Gates a lot, Fredo Bang, NBA YoungBoy, like those type of guys. But if I don't know, probably some DMX or something. Like if I just gotta just
He's
go
taking it
crazy.
back.
Yeah, if I just got to just like,
Taking it back.
you know what I mean? So I don't know. That's a tough one. This
Song
one.
with Fredo Bang and Lil Durk. What is it? Top or
Top. Yeah, top.
That's fine. I love that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it is. That's hard.
See, that's the part of the interview. See, this is the part of the interview where the 51-year-old guy is completely lost.
For sure.
And so you know, fighting for a world title, which is obviously the goal, man. Do you have like a timeline? You know what I mean? Like, would you like to be fighting for that world title? Do you feel like 2025 is the year?
Yeah, for sure. I feel, man, I've been feel like it's the year. I got offered my first title shot in 2019. And the champion at the time turned it down, you know what I mean? So so I've been ready, you know what I mean? After I fought my first 10-rounder against an undefeated guy that was defending his belt stuff and won, I was ready then. So I'm here.
You're good to go. You're good to go.
I'm definitely within the next 6-7 months for sure. I want to fight for world.
Yeah.
One of my favorite questions to ask, man, I'm going to ask you, is outside of boxing, like what other hobbies are you into? Like what else do you enjoy doing?
To be honest, I like chilling. I like being with my family like a lot. Like I'm very, very family oriented. So
you got kids?
No kids.
No kids yet.
Everything got to make sense before I have a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got to be everything.
Smart.
Ducks in a row. But I like just binge watching series, watching movies. You know what I mean? On TikTok or playing basketball or I don't know. We just whatever be fun at the time. I'll be with it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I ain't got no kids. Somebody call me like, let's go to Africa next week. I'm like, come on. You know what I mean? It's like I'll be with it. So pretty much I'll be open to a lot of things. I like having fun. Like.
And now, do you follow most of your local sports teams, like your Ohio teams?
Yeah, for the most part. You know what I mean? Like in my city, we are the sports teams. We one-man sports teams. We don't got no major teams in my city. So the boxers are what's going on here. You know what I mean? We a big fight town, always been like that. So but yeah, I follow sports heavy.
Yeah.
I like the NBA a lot. That's what I'm really into.
So who's your team in the NBA? Is it the
have a
Cavs?
team. I'm a LeBron James fan.
You're a LeBron James.
I came in with LeBron, going with LeBron. Where he go, I go.
He's gonna ride and die with LeBron. You heard him right there, man.
Pops don't want to hear it, Prince. Pops don't want to hear it.
I don't, man. Hey, but we did have a young fighter in here recently, though, and I can't remember who, man, but took my side in the whole MJ versus LeBron argument, man. And I can't remember who it was, man. I do remember who it was. It was Elijah Pierce. He took MJ with me.
You heard what they said. The trend is we done with the 90s.
We
We
done
done with the 90s.
No, we don't.
You know what, Prince? I'll take it from you, man, because you are 26-0, and you are in my mind, you are the champ at 126, man. So I'm gonna let you have the moment right now because you're a guest on our show, Prince. So I mean,
my favorite one is no Pip, no Chimp.
Yes.
No, he's cold, man. Come on, man. You know, LeBron had some good supporting cast on those teams too, though, man. You know.
Yeah, in the league, it takes that. You know what I mean? In certain areas, you know what I mean?
So,
but you got to think when you are the super team, they trying to assemble to beat you. LeBron had to go against the super teams to go create one. You know what I mean? So
I know.
Nobody that when Tatum linked up with Brown and Holiday and Porzingis and nobody.
Yeah, it takes more than one. It's a team sport. You know what I mean? So that's what people got to understand too. At the end of the day, it takes more than one.
That's why I love boxing so much, man. That's why I love boxing so much.
Right, for sure. Can't blame it on nobody else. No,
you got nobody else. Yeah, you got nobody. Well, I suppose you could fire your trainer. I guess. I mean, that's a common move sometimes.
And then what happens again? They got to then they got to. I never seen nobody fire their trainer and go undefeated for the rest of their career after that.
Right. Good point.
So it's always it's not. You know what I mean, like you can't get told a bad fight plan or it ain't working. But at the end of the day, it's on you to make the adjustments and your fight IQ to see what's going on. All they can do is help you and give you pointers or give you some stuff that you ain't seeing. But at the end of the day, it's on you.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly, man. Well, I mean, I can't say enough what a pleasure this has been, man. We are huge fans, man. You know, please stay in touch with us, man. You've been a great guest. We would love to have you back on again, man. Come back on and chop it up, man. As soon as something's popping, man, and you got some news, man, come on and share it with us, man.
Oh, for sure we'll do, man. Thanks for y'all for having me. This is cool.
And I'll send you a link to the channel, man. I'm sure you'll see a lot of your buddies on there, man. We've had damn near everybody on here, man. And we love to give the young fighters a platform. We've been blessed to have a lot of legends on, man. But what we get excited about is having those guys that are the next generation of the sport, man. The guys that are going to be the future of the sport. You know, I always say, man, you never know if you are talking to the next Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? Like, you know, all of you guys, the Malik Montgomerys, the Elijah Pierces, all the young guys, the Shoo Carringtons. Those are the guys we love to have on.
Them all my guys that you just named. So shout out to all of them, man.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, we appreciate it, Prince, man. Best of luck, man. Please keep us tapped in with what's going on, man. And we'll love to have you back on again, man.
Most definitely, man. Y'all take care. God bless.
Appreciate you, man. God bless you. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Later. There he goes, man. 26-0. Give that man a title shot, man. Give that man a title shot.
I mean, Messi, he said it in here. He's begging for one.
26-0, man. Come on, man. If I may go over his stats right now, you know, he is a humble guy. I do know that he's not a big trash talker, a super cool guy with a very poised, calm demeanor, man. So he's not going to get on here and be firing off a lot of shit about guys, man. You know, we have had guys on there that do like to do that, man. He's not one of them, though, man. He does his talking in the ring, man. But ranked number 10 by the Ring Magazine, ranked 12 in the WBC, 14th in the IBF. And of course, in the WBO, an alphabet organization I consider very important, man. Numero uno. Numero uno, which means he deserves a shot at either Oscar Valdez, our interim champ, or our kingpin super champ, Emmanuel Navarrete.
Not to shit on the alphabet organizations too much, but I consider the IBF to be basically dog shit. And for them to say you're 14 is absolutely garbage.
Well, the WBA doesn't have him ranked at all. So, I mean, I don't know. Scratch your head and fucking ponder that one. So, I mean,
I just always considered the IBF to kind of be like a bum division.
But at least they have him ranked, though, dude. I mean, come on, man. I mean, the WBC's got him 12. At least the IBF has him 14, man. They've at least got him in the top 15.
Right.
I mean, I mean, show the guy some love, man. I mean, you know, the guy's walking around with the belts, man. I'm pretty sure, man, as he said, man, he's got only 9 knockouts, man. You know, he's not a guy that's going to really put it on you as far as like one-punch knockout power. But as he said, man, and I totally agree with this assessment, man, I would rather just have a guy stone cold knock me the fuck out, man, rather than just put it on me for 12 rounds and make me look like a jackass all night. You know what I mean? Like,
I was actually going to bring up in that conversation, but we didn't get to it. But I just saw something recently. It was like Caleb Plant got knocked out by Canelo, but got done in crazy by Benavidez. And that's basically what we were talking about. Like, sparked out in the Canelo fight, but the Benavidez fight, he got beat to death.
Yeah. And shout out fucking Prince Albert Bell, man. Porsche repping fucking Ohio, man. Well, I think that's the birthplace of, if I'm not mistaken, Jake Paul. It's also our buddy Cold Blood Clark, Adrian Broner. He was calling out him, man, for the Battle of Ohio, man. So Ohio's got a good, rich fighting history. I'm sure I could think of some more if I really took some time, man. But as he said, man, he doesn't have an actual sports team in Toledo. So, I mean, the boxers, are their own sports franchise, man. But that's a guy that deserves a shot, man. Come on, man. For anybody that's out there watching, man, Albert Prince Bell, man, fucking deserves his shot, man. What the hell's the guy got to do, man? Run your record up to 26 and fucking 0?
Yeah, man. Shout out Albert Prince Bell. Beautiful fucking beard.
Beautiful beard. Very nice. Yeah, very nicely coiffed.
And I gotta say, man, seriously, I say it on every podcast we do. If you are not liked and subscribed and notification bell tapped in on this podcast, I really don't know what you're doing liking boxing. You might as well stop.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. I mean, do you just want to hear X's and O's, or do you want to find out what these dudes like to eat after the fucking fight? Do you want to find out what tunes they're rocking in their head when they got to put in that fucking work? Do you want to find out, do you want the shoes off type of informal interviews, man, that we bring you right here and really get to know these guys on a deeper level, man? Come on, man. These are the future of this fucking sport that you guys claim to love that tune into this, man, You
see it on the hat. Nobody's doing it like us. We're infamous.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. This is where you really get to chop it. I mean, this is where you hear the guys really chop it up and really get to know them, man, and talk real candid. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, of course we talk boxing. That goes without saying, man. But we really want to get to know these guys, man. These are the faces and that are going to be carrying this sport that we all profess to love. That's why we're here,
Absolutely.
Come on, man. This is the #1 sport. Let's restore it to its glory, man. I mean, at one point back in the days, the 20s and the 30s, man, it was boxing. It was boxing and baseball, but it was certainly boxing, dude.
And hey, I'm going to say, shout out the New York Mets because it's on the cap, and shout out Gary Busey because I can go 15 seconds with anything.
And make sure to like and follow us on Facebook. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on this here channel. As Benji said, man, you should be tapped in with this, man. If there's not, something is wrong with you. If you're looking for phenomenal conversations with the legends, the luminaries, and the guys on the come up in this fucking great sport, man, this is where they come to chop it up, right here on Off the Couch Boxing, man. So I don't know, man. But, if you're not tapped in, you might be a little punch drunk. I'd go see a doctor if I were you. I don't know what your problem is, man, but you got one. You certainly got one. I don't know what you're waiting for, man, but, your finger shouldn't be, your finger can't move fast enough to hit the notification bell. And shout us out on Facebook, too. Let us know what you like, who you liked on here, who you'd like to see back on here, who you'd like to see us get that we haven't gotten yet, man. We're open to suggestions, man. Follow us on there for all the news of newly released episodes and, all current boxing news that we can share on there, man, that's going on in the boxing world. We try to stay tapped in as well, man. And, I don't know what else to say, man. I don't know what else to say. The Alexis Arguello puppet won't say it.
I know what else to say, and I cut my light off, but I'm going to say it. The boxers love us.
Yeah, that's what matters right there, man.
They know who to come and talk to.
That's right, man. We try to make it as comfortable and relaxing for them as possible, man, so they can come on here and just feel like they're chopping it up with, a couple of pals, man. You know what I mean? We just want to fucking just, we love this sport so much, man. We pour so much passion into this sport, man. We prepare so much for these interviews, man. We really take our craft very seriously. I hope people see that and it's reflected in the episodes, man. And of course, big thank you. We don't do this enough to our guests and all the people that are willing to come on here, man, and chop it up with us, man. Without them, we couldn't do what we do, man. So big thank you to the guests. First and foremost, it starts with them always, man.
And also shout out to the people who are already subscribed and tapped in watching these episodes.
Yeah. And shout out, of course, to the Prince himself, man. Albert Bell, 26-0. Another guy. Remember that face. Remember that name, man. Another guy that's going to be wearing some fucking straps very soon, as Errol Spence likes to say. 2025 seems like it's going to be strap season for a lot of the guys we've had on here recently. They're all calling for 2025 to be a big year. We're expecting it out of Shu York. We're expecting it out of Malik Montgomery, Elijah P. A lot of these great young fighters that we've had on here, man. Their time is coming, man. And, we're fortunate that we're getting them. And we're along for the ride as they climb the ladder, man. And it's an honor and a privilege for us, man, that they grace us with their presence, man, because these are the futures, man. You know what I mean? Yes, we're always going to remember our legends, the Floyd Mayweathers, the Roy Joneses, the Mike Tysons, all those guys, man. But you know what? They've had their day, man. They've had their day, and it's a new day now. And these guys are that new day, man.
Beautifully said.
Yeah, so stay tapped in, man. And remember, if you want to be a champion, you got to roll with the champs.